Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the academic deans of the university, led by Acting Provost and Vice President Elizabeth Garrett. Dean Howard Gilman of the USC College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. Dean Elizabeth Daly of the School of Cinematic Arts. Dean Ernest Wilson III of the Annenberg School for Communication. Dean Karen Sims Gallagher of the Rossier School of Education. Dean Gerald Davison of the Davis School of Gerontology. Dean Randall Beatty of the Leventhal School of Accounting. Dean Robert Cudietta of the Thornton School of Music. Dean Jack Knott of the School of Policy, Planning, and Development. Dean Madeline Puzo of the School of Theater. Dean Catherine Quinlan of the University Libraries. And Dean James Ellis of the Marshall School of Business, accompanied by the 10th President of the University of Southern California, Stephen Sample. Ladies and gentlemen, President Stephen Sample.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for coming. This is a very exciting day for the USC Marshall School of Business, and indeed for the entire university. Today, we formally welcome the new Dean of the Marshall School, Professor Jim Ellis. Some of our trustees are here with us on this special occasion, and I should like to introduce them. I would ask that they and their spouse stand and remain standing, and then we'll recognize them as a group. George Boone and his wife, Mary Lou. Gail Ben Susan and his wife, Jane. Alex Capello and his wife, Linda. Mal Curry and his wife, Barbara. Michelle Dado Engelman and her husband, Roger. Jane Hoffman Popovich and her husband, Chris. Lorna Reed and her husband, Chuck. And David Tappan. Ladies and gentlemen, the board. I should also like to recognize two of our senior officers who are here. I would ask that they stand, and we'll recognize the two of them at once. Mr. Todd Dickey, Senior Vice President for Administration and General Counsel, and Ms. Carol Mal-Shamir, Associate Senior Vice President, Managing General Counsel, and Secretary of the University, the senior officers. And now I want to introduce some very, very special members of the Trojan family, and I would ask that they rise and stand and keep standing until all have been recognized. First, Jim's wife, Dr. Gail Ellis. Jim's and Gail's son, Rob Ellis, is currently a junior at the USC Marshall School of Business. Their son, Brian Sullivan, received his MBA from the Marshall School. Their daughter, Jessica Sullivan, is a graduate of the USC School of Theater. Their daughter, Tiffany Sullivan, received a master's degree from the USC School of Social Work. Their daughter, Carrie Walker, is here with her son-in-law, Scott Walker, who, take it. Their daughter, Carrie Walker, is here with son-in-law, Scott Walker, who also received his MBA from the Marshall School. Jim's mother is here, Carol Ellis, his mother-in-law, Mary Galvin, his father-in-law, Bob Galvin, who is the former chairman and CEO of Motorola. Now, how's that for a Trojan family? I think Jim and Gail are competing for the USC Tuition Paying Parent Award. I also want to thank all of you for coming today, particularly the faculty. Your hard work has made the Marshall School one of the nation's leading schools of business, and your contributions continue to enhance the reputation of the entire university. When Jim was named Dean of the Marshall School, there was a lot of celebration throughout the university. The senior officers were delighted. People in the provost's office were excited. Jim's colleagues were enthusiastic. But there was one group that was a little disappointed. And which group was that? Jim's students. He's such a great teacher that they didn't want him spending less time in the classroom while fooling around with this decanal business. Most of you are aware of Jim's talents as a teacher. He was awarded USC's Teaching Has No Boundaries Award and our Golden Apple Award. His skill in the classroom has made him one of Marshall's most beloved professors. You may know that USC has some teacher evaluations that are available online. I'd like to share a couple of Jim's evaluations with you. One former student wrote, "Jim Ellison is just incredible. He's inspiring, motivating, and an all-around cool person to know." Another student said, "I took his class in the morning." Now get this. The kid said, "I had to wake up at 7 o'clock and drive in LA traffic for 2 hours. I did it just because I knew I would be in his class. I didn't know such great professors still existed." Jim inspires not only his students, but also his colleagues. He's supportive, encouraging, and endlessly optimistic. He never says that something can't be done. He truly believes that anything is possible. Most important, he cares. He cares deeply about his students and his colleagues in the Marshall School, and he cares for the entire University of Southern California, and that's exactly the type of person we need leading the Marshall School. For nearly 90 years, this school has played a key role in the success of this university. Marshall was the first accredited business school in Southern California. This school created the nation's first program in entrepreneurial studies. Marshall was the first business school to require international travel and study as part of every MBA student's program. And this school embodies the entrepreneurial spirit that indeed defines this university. I'm extremely proud of the Marshall School's past, and I'm very enthusiastic about its future. As USC expands its presence around the world, Marshall will play an even greater role in USC's success. Each day, Marshall's faculty, students, and alumni are helping to shape business and industry in this country while proving that business can build bridges across cultures from Southern California to Shanghai. I truly believe that this is a pivotal moment in the distinguished history of the Marshall School, and I have every confidence that Jim Ellis is the right man in the right place at the right time. He has the experience, he has the vision, and best of all, he has the strong support of Marshall's faculty, students, and alumni. Jim accepted this deanship not only because of his passion for the Marshall School, but also because of the quality of the people who work and study at that school. He knows that Marshall has a world-class faculty, he knows that students are entrepreneurial and engaged, and he knows that he has inherited one of USC's most active and involved alumni associations. With your support, Dean Ellis will help lead this school to new and greater heights, making Marshall one of the most elite business schools in the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the new leader of the USC Marshall School of Business and the holder of the Robert R. Doxson Dean's Chair in Business Administration, Professor Jim Ellis.
There we go.
I gotta give you a gift.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that now?
Dean Ellis, before you speak, in recognition of this memorable occasion, I should like to present you with this miniature chair representing the Robert R. Doxson Dean Chair in Business Administration, which you now occupy. See if I can take the cloth off without screwing it up. That's cool. There it is. And it's a very, very important symbol of the positions, plural, the endowed chair and the deanship that you now hold. So Jim, I'm pleased to present this chair to you. We're not allowed to take it off the table, at least that's what I was told. And now, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Dean Jim Ellis.
Thank you, President Sample. I was reflecting, driving into work this morning, why you guys would come here. Now, some of you guys think you can get better seats at the Coliseum. I can't do that. Some of you guys think I can change your grade from 40 years ago. I can't do that either. Some of you guys think I can get your son or daughter in. I can't do that either. Some of you guys came just because you don't believe this. I understand that one. I didn't ask the students to come because we would have run out of food, so they're not here for that reason. But you know, this is an event that's really not about a person. And it's not even about an office, but it's really about the aspirations of higher education and what we try and do here and how we remember that it draws us to this really extraordinary place, and just remember that word, to challenge ourselves to build a future that both honors and transcends the past. So it's not about a person, it's truly about the school. I thank the trustees for being here. I really appreciate you all being here. As Dr. Sample calls them, these are our bosses, so we sort of have to be nice to them. Senior administrators, Todd Carroll, thank you. To my colleagues from schools throughout the university, deans, you guys, thank you for the support. They're the ones that give me the best support. They tell me my shirt looked okay while other guys said didn't. To my colleagues from the Marshall School of Business, thank you all. I really, really appreciate it, and I appreciate the fact that you've been so supportive. To two of our former deans who are here, one of whom, Dr. Bob Doxson, would you please stand, Bob? Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Randy Westerfield was here. Randy, are you here? I think he ducked out. Get it. And finally, you really can't take on this greater responsibility without the support of your family, and particularly the support of your spouse. My family's been hugely supportive. My wife, when I was asked to take this job, she said, well, I hope you said yes. She's having more fun than I am. And to Gail and all of you guys, thank you. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you. The day that I was asked to do this, I called my youngest son, Rob, into the office because he was in school here. And I said, Rob, a couple things may change tomorrow. Because I'm going to be named the dean of the business school. And he goes, Dad, that's ridiculous. Which, if you know 18-year-old kids, I mean, it's cool. I said, you okay with this? You going to be all right with this? He said, Dad, I was a student at Marshall long before you were a dean. Sort of puts it in perspective, you know. Thank you to President Sample. Thanks for particularly do for the last 16 years. This is a world-class institution, finest research institution around, and one of the finest in the world, and it really is because of what Steve Sample has done for us, and I know that we all appreciate it. I'd love to give him a hand. Would you guys mind doing that? We have extraordinary scholars and we have extraordinary students. And by all metrics, this school has improved in every way. GPAs, SATs, endowment, all of that. Community outreach. Think about this school as a community outreach school. It's really amazing what the school does. And that's just because what President Sample has done to set a vision for all of us. The Marshall School has benefited hugely from this rise in prominence. We now can attract the top students. In my freshman class that I teach in the fall, I have 103 students in the class. The average SAT of that class is 1520. Now that's just one kid getting a 1520. Some of you guys look at the pal next to you and add your two SATs together and just, at least some of my buddies. And the interesting part about those 103, when we went around the room on the first day of class and I asked them to tell their fellow students one thing that was memorable about them, 3 of them had turned down Harvard to come to USC. Think about that. That's pretty cool. We're a destination for companies that hire our students that didn't come 5 or 10, 15 years before, or for those that will partner up with our researchers. We are able to invest in the school. We're able to invest in programs. The building of Popovich Hall, the renovation of Hoffman. Thank you, Chris and Jane. Faculty support and training. The undergraduate program, where we've been able to send them overseas as freshmen. 2 years ago, we sent 65 freshmen to Shanghai at spring break. Last year we sent 187 freshmen to Shanghai in spring break, and this year we hope to send 350, with the goal being every freshman at Marshall goes overseas their spring break. We've looked to revise the curriculum so that we could give them more of a liberal arts opportunity and to live more with the breadth with depth, as we talk about in the entire university, and to give them an opportunity to be Renaissance scholars, which truly is the pinnacle of success for any student at USC. In the next years, Marshall will become the relevant global business school of the 21st century. That's what we're going to do. We have a great start because we have a wonderfully diverse global faculty. We have a wonderfully diverse global student body. We have a vast network of alums all over the Pacific Rim in particular. And we're training leaders who will make a difference in the world. You can ask the president of Botswana, who met with 7 of our MBAs when they went to Botswana to help him with an initiative that he has in that country. And he was so excited that these 7 students had come down there and spent their time and are coming up with a business plan for him. It's really exciting. USC's done its part to get us here. Now it's our job as Marshall to take it to the next level. There's a few things we have to do. We first of all have to make sure that we understand the impact of globalization on every aspect of the business world. Globalization is permeating our world. We need to understand it, and we need to pass that thought process to our students so they will be totally prepared when it's their turn to take over. We have to vigorously pursue the achievement and the advancement of intellectual capital through our centers of excellence and through our research, which is going to make us a better school. We need to foster in our students a mindset of entrepreneurship and innovation. We live in an interesting place. Last weekend, we were in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska has 5 companies in the Fortune 100. Southern California, from Bakersfield to the border, has 3. This is an entrepreneurial environment that we live in. We have to have our students prepared for that. And so they need to understand innovation and flexibility and creativity because they're growing up in an entrepreneurial world. And we continually have to examine the role and the relevance of business in society. And our students are taking us to task on that every single day. They want to get involved, they want to help, they want to give back. So we have to identify what are the key building blocks. How do we make ourselves a top global school? First of all, we say yes. Our job at Marshall is to say yes. We start at yes. If we get to know, it's because we worked our way to know, but we say yes. We want to be a can-do environment. We want to create an environment that attracts and stimulates the absolute finest scholars and faculty talent. We want to create an environment that attracts the finest and most diverse young minds. And we need to create and acquire the right facilities that we need to do that. And to do all of that, we need help from everybody. We need help from USC's wonderful leadership team. We need help from all my partners and the other deans who are going to help us do it interdisciplinarily. We need a strong alumni network because you guys can help us get these students placed, get them launched. We need our dedicated faculty and staff who love coming to work here, and we want to make sure they love coming to work here for a long time. And we want our students and their parents who are here for 4 years but walk out of here with an extremely loyal and wonderful memory of this place. It's all about the whole Trojan family. We can't do it without the Trojan family. This is a team game. It takes a whole team to make this the best business school we can. So we can build something extraordinary here at Marshall. And despite all the transitions that we've had over the recent years, we still have a strong baseline. We've got a place from which to grow. And we're going to grow, and we're ready to go. I thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate you guys coming. This is terrific. It's a privilege and it's an honor to be allowed to be involved in making this truly a global, relevant business school for the 21st century. Thank you.
Okay, one more thing. Thank you, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We have plenty of food and drink. Please enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.